It's funny.
Yeah.
It's funny as well. Just on the work, it's funny how once you get off the treadmill of being tied and trapped to the overtime, how different your life becomes and feels.
I
I was
cannot
exactly the
imagine.
same.
Were you?
Yeah.
Like how did it
I
change for you then?
was, mate. Well, I moved into management, so
Mm,
I used to be production supervisor on shop floor, earning an hourly rate
mm,
plus overtime, time and a half, and then double time after a certain period. You know what I mean? Like it
yeah,
ratchets up. And I was trapped into that 6 days a week.
yeah.
You know what I mean? Every waking hour that I could do, I would do to provide for the family.
Meant you weren't
And then
more. Yeah, yeah, yeah,
yeah, I had more. And then I could have my bike. I could
yeah,
have nice cars. We could go on holiday and
yeah, yeah,
provide.
yeah. Hmm.
And then 2017, I moved out of being production supervisor at the firm where I was, and then moved to a different company, and I become a manager on salary.
Hmm.
And then my world just changed.
Yeah.
I worked 40 hours a week, didn't do a stitch of overtime.
Wow.
I was getting paid 12 grand a year more than what I was getting paid with
Hmm.
overtime. I mean, it just transformed. Yeah, yeah. And now what I've done is I've sort of done the sort of full circle because I've rejoined the company back where I started my career. So,
Oh,
but
have
it's a
you?
different name now. It's a different company name, yeah. So I've gone from it was bought out. It was bought out in the period where I'd left the 5 years that I'd left. I've come
Yeah.
back. I've dropped back into the same role that I was doing on double the money.
Nice, happy days.
Mark from
So
Leeds is
yeah,
on stacks now.
no, I'm not.
Yeah.
You know how much
Minted.
But
you know how
Minted.
much I'm on. I'm not on stacks. You know what
but
I mean?
I think that's, I mean,
Excuse me.
I know we can't really mention this C word. We can mention the other four-letter one, but the COVID whole thing, before we started that,
Can't
people were
say
like,
that word.
yeah, you'll get
That's me
banned suddenly.
demonetized. Sorry.
Yeah, sorry. COVID. Um, but before that, our company was if you want to work from home 2 days a week or one day a week, you need a whole formal contract
Hmm.
conversation and stuff. Now I'm in the office 2 days a week, 2 to 3 days
Yeah.
a week. I'm meant to be in 3 days a week, do 2 days a week. But when people I've just hired a new guy to start who's starting on Monday, and he said to me, I'm not sure, I've been working. My work is 5 minutes down the road from me, and you're telling me that I've got now commute an hour and a half into London.
Mm.
And what do I do if it's 5 days a week? And I went, if I'm in if any saying this, no one's working 5 days a week in the office, because people have, like, as much as you go, yeah, but you used to, and your contract says it, you're like, yeah, but people have over 3 years have they've put their kids to bed at night.
Hmm.
They've started a gym routine, which makes them feel so much better in themselves. They've
Yeah.
spent more time with their wife, their kids, their dogs, and they've got all these different things. They've moved away and bought, like we've bought this house gone for is an hour. It's 77 miles to commute into London each way.
Hmm.
So you kind of think that's a big commute. If I was doing, I wouldn't do it if it was 5 days a week, but it means that I can, because I needed to do 2 to 3 days a week, and I've managed to buy a 3-bed detached house with a decent sized garden and stuff for the same price as
Yeah.
a 2-bedroom semi-detached. Well, it's cheaper than this house I'm in now, which is a 2-bed semi. And you kind of go, well, I've got so much more for my money just because I have a bit more flexibility.
I get that. As a business owner, though, none of that matters unless you're as productive or more
Yeah.
productive than you were before.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
But I
Like,
felt
great, you're in a happier place. But if you're
Yeah.
not as productive as you were in my office, I want you in my office.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I think
Which
that's the playoff.
Yeah, which I think in the first initial stages, I mean, we ended up, there was one guy that, I mean, I know he won't watch this because I haven't
Back in
spoken
the
to him for
second,
years.
guys.
All right, mate.
No worries.
They're for massive shit. But there's a guy that I had to have quite a stern conversation with, because when we went working from home, he disappeared off the face of the planet. He was gone. Like, the way it took me 2 weeks to get hold of this guy, full-time employee, 2 weeks to get hold of him. I was on the verge of sort of calling the police to say, I don't know where this guy's gone. Can you check he's alive, kind of thing.
Wow.
I got hold of him because I managed to find his wife's phone number on some Instagram page, or I can't remember if it's Facebook or Instagram or whatever. I called her and I went, I'm Sam, I'm calling from this company. Is this guy okay? She went, yeah, he's sitting right next to me. Handed the phone. I just went, where the fuck have you been, mate? Like, I've been trying. I've gone from the point of worrying about, can you deliver this job that you're meant to be delivering, to, are you alive?
Yeah.
And the whole thing, like, he was like, oh, I've got all these different excuses under the sun as to why he hasn't been answering. So, like, I think if you can do your job and you can function and you can, I do more work when I'm working from home than I do when I'm in the office, because when I'm in the office, I've got all these different distractions going on, but also it gets to 6 o'clock and I go, right, nothing's going on, I'm going home. And I'm on the bike for an hour. Whereas if I'm at home and something comes up at 6:10, I'm like, yeah, I'll quickly do that.
Yeah.
So I think there's a very fine line. Some people work really well from home and some jobs work really well from home. I think there's some people that just can't do it. They need the structure.
I love working from home. I love being here, and I love how I pick and choose. But I think I really would benefit from having a physical office somewhere that I have to make that effort to get up and go to it, because I can be so easily distracted here. But then, to be honest, actually thinking about that, my distractions are things like my phone. So I'm sat here editing, and
it's terrible, isn't it?
I'm even trying to break my editing down into like 20-minute sections. So I'll set a timer on my phone for 20 minutes, and it's just like, I'll put my phone on Do Not Disturb. I've only been doing this the past 2 days. I'll put my phone on Do Not Disturb so nothing comes in.
That's why you've not been replying to me.
Well, a lot of the time, yeah. You know, like when we started that group chatting away earlier today, normally I wouldn't. You know, I think I said to you, like, I've got stuff to do. So
yeah, you got shit to do, you're busy. Yeah.
I'd be Do Not Disturb. I'd turn the phone over and I'd just sit and I'd be doing that 20-minute work, then have like 5-10 minutes, have a look at my emails, answer some comments on the various platforms, another 20 minutes work, boom, boom. And that had been working well the last couple of days. Before that, I'll do 5 minutes work and then, oh, what's that message coming on my phone? Boom, have a look. Oh, it's a comment on YouTube. Check that. Next thing, oh, anything coming on Instagram? All right, so you start answering on Instagram, then Facebook, Patreon. Yeah. Oh, that infinite scroll on bloody Instagram. Oh.
Yes, I've lost like hours.
I deleted TikTok because I was wasting hours on TikTok. I just deleted it. I'd got like 3,000-4,000 bloody followers on that, and I was just like, right, I can't have this on my phone anymore.
That also brings you back to why I love bikes so much, because you cannot scroll through. You can't doom scroll.
Yeah.
I can go out for an hour's ride. Sometimes I turn my cardo off because I'm like, I don't even want people calling me.
Yeah, no, same. Yeah.
And it's just it's an hour or however
your
many
own
hours.
headspace.
Yeah.
Sort your own. Yeah.
Mark, you remember that trip I did up to Scotland like a year, not this Christmas, the one before, when all my GoPros died. That trip was what that was. That was like I have been like, I've got app timers on now, but I'd been like 10 hours on Instagram in a day. And I was like, what? Like, how is that possible? So I went up to Scotland, and that was like 7 hours up there. And I didn't touch my phone. I put it on. I looked at my phone in the morning for 10 minutes, answered any comments, answered any emails, any text or whatever. Put it in the port on the front of the bike, left it on charge, didn't touch it again until like 8 p.m. in the evening. And it was the most focused, relaxed, most separated I've been for years. And it was genuinely like brilliant. It was so nice. And I can't explain it, but it's just that, someone sent me a message. Just while I'm waiting for them to reply, I'll just go through Reels 40 minutes later. Yeah. And you've said,
it's terrible.
Yeah.
Anyway, next question.
Right.
I've been bad with it as well. Yeah.
Pete's got another question. If you could live in any TV home, what would it be? Glad to see the podcast resurrected. Live your life.
I'll answer that one. So much just jumped straight into my mind. Yeah.
Go on.
Osborne's. I'll live in Osborne house.
Really?
Yeah.
With all the drugs.
Don't know. Ozzy Osbourne shouting to Sharon that the dog's shitting aliens. That's something that lives in my memory.
Son,
the dog shooting islands.
son again. Right, I need a pee. I need a pee. I'm going to give you a question. Discuss it. I'm going for a pee. David McCracken, do you ever picture each other during sexy times? If so, what effect does it have? And for the three of you, what positions would you assume in a teapot, MFNL, and Sam V human centipede? Wow.
What the
Discuss, and I'll be back shortly.
What the fuck?
Well, I'm going to start by answering the previous question, which was what was, I can't even remember what it was.
Celebrity House.
Travis Pastrana. Do you know who that is?
Is he an off-roading guy?
Yeah, so he started
Africa Twin. Is he the Africa Twin off-roading guy?
I know who you're thinking of, Kieran Mabiriet or Maberet. I can't remember. Not sure how you say this, but no, he is American guy. He used to be in all like the X Games and stuff like that. Like all the jump competitions, like triple backflips and all that sort of stuff.
Oh, so right, yeah.
So he was that, but he's got this huge expanse of land in America, and he's just got he's got this massive jump with like a foam pit where he practices all his. So he just does all that, and you kind of think, this guy's just got all these mini bikes and stuff, and he just does what he wants in his own garden.
Yeah.
There's him, and then there's also there's a guy called Whistling Diesel who is a bit of a bell, but I kind of get he's the guy that just destroys stuff. But he's got a huge expanse of land as well, and he just has like a tank that he bought. Just all these various different things. Yeah, he bought a tank. He's the one, you probably saw him, but he basically, there's quite a few viral videos going around where he bought a G-Wagon and he does like durability tests. I guarantee Bruce has watched it, but he does all these durability tests where he'll take a stock G-Wagon, like Mercedes 130 grand car, and he will do that, and then he'll go and just jump it in the sand dunes and stuff. Does the name Whistling Diesel mean anything to you, Bruce?
No.
Oh, well, there you go.
I tell you, somebody else I've thought of, maybe Celebrity House, if you can call him a celebrity. Colin Furs.
Yeah, the guy that builds
I'm trying to get him on the bloody
stuff.
podcast.
Yeah, he's cool.
that guy. I'm like, sort of, in my sort of working career, a sort of a microcosmic part of what he does in real life. Yeah, microcosmic.
Is that like a microscopic?
Micro penis?
No, something even smaller than that, Bruce. That's why I didn't say microscopic. You know what I mean? Something even smaller.
God, you're way too intelligent.
Something resembles your Todger, Bruce.
It's 20 and a half stone behind it, so I'm going to say.
Yeah, doesn't work if it's flat, mate.
Yeah, but it doesn't matter. If the nail's small, it doesn't matter how big the hammer is.
Listen, don't bring the tone down on this podcast, you smutty little man.
I told you that I'll pull your beard off in a minute.
Don't make promises like
Have you seen that little kid? Have you seen that little kid?
Hours. We've done about 6 questions.
Have you seen that little kid where he goes, I'll punch Santa's beard off? There you go, Santa.
Yeah.
There you go, Santa.
Bloody Northerners.
He's an annoying little twat as well. Yeah.
So it's all that he sounded like he's from near Leeds as well.
No, he's not. He's a southerner like you.
No, he's not. He had an accent.
He is.
I speak the Queen's English or the King's English now.
Have you covered Human Centipede?
No,
I'm not covering that one.
Yeah, which means Mark's at the back.
He'd have to be in the middle.
I'll put.
You'd have to be in the middle.
You want to be in the middle?
No.
I don't think there's any good position though, is there?
MFNL would have to be in the middle.
Can I put my token forward to be at the front? Don't eat a lot of shit food. Go to the gym quite a lot. Relatively clean diet. Don't eat a lot of takeaways.
Okay, so you can take it in the wrong end. That's fine, right? Mark, you're in the middle, and I'll go.
You're going to take both of ours.
No, Mark will. He's in the middle.
Oh, right.
I'm at the tail.
Yeah, but that doesn't matter. That means then your mouth is
in my
bum
because it's mouth to.
I thought. Oh no.
So what you have just said.
That I was entering Mark, and Mark was. Oh.
You're so desperate to enter me, aren't you?
Oh wow! Now that puts a whole
I've told him how good it is, Mark.
In which case, no. It's my podcast. I'm going to
Change it up.
You've already said it, mate. You've already said it. Bruce wants to be at the back of a human centipede.
Hang on. That's horrible. Oof. Jesus, that's a revolting film.
I always knew you would like taking it up the rear, being at the back.
No, you don't take anything up the rear. You've just got your mouth sewn to your bum. That's all it is at the rear.
Well, it's at the rear, isn't it?
Yeah, I feel sorry
whatever
for
you do,
anyone
whatever
watching this.
way you put it, you're taking it at the rear, aren't you?
Horrendous.
Right.
Tommy Lindley, awesome news and what Ollie Ray said. Thank you very much, Tommy. Next one, Gary Taylor. Happy New Year to all. Question for Sam. Talking of deviants, is Mark a screamer or a pillow biter? Plus, have any of you joint ventures planned?
Screams into a pillow.
Well, we all know that.
I love Gary. Gary's brilliant. I love that guy.
He's good lad. Good chipper as well.
Joint ventures. Well, I asked Mark if he wants to come to my tet on the monkey, but he pussied out when I said that I might camp it. So he might join us if we do hotels, which I might do.
What a waster.
What's that? What's that, mate? What did you say? Where?
When we did
Welsh
the
tet?
Yeah.
No, I'm not doing that.
Yeah.
Why not?
I can't do that. I can't do that.
What do you mean you can't do it? Of course you can.
Yeah.
What, going on Welsh tet?
Yeah.
To be fair, it's
what was it, a couple of days?
Yeah. I don't think it'll be
You were saying about 4 days or some shit. Well, when is it? Is it when Clan Ride's on? Because you were saying May,
I haven't planned it yet.
Oh, right, okay.
I was going to do it in like March, probably.
No, I'm away in March. I'm off to Dubai in March.
You're away for the whole of March.
Mark Kent, that was on the podcast last year, he's done it on the GS, and he says it's so. But he did say he probably wouldn't do it when it's wet. When it's wet, it's a whole different kettle of fish.
Yeah, that's why I want to do it.
He did the ACT, didn't he?
Yeah, but on the monkeys, it would be fine.
Yeah, the thing with the monkey, and the reason I take that.
Oh yeah, sorry, yeah, that is it. Apologies. Yeah,
ACT, yeah, but the reason I take the monkey green
that's for big
so
bikes.
much,
The ACT is for the big bikes, isn't it?
Yeah, well, you can do it on anything, can't you? But it's there's more distance in the ACT, isn't there? Whereas I think the TET is just made up of all the different things, isn't it?
Yeah, apologies. I was thinking of the ACT, right?
But the monkey, if there's a route or something that you go over on the Super Adventure or the GS or whatever you're on, it just soaks it up. Whereas the monkey, it becomes a big event. So I want to do, there's one of the lanes in Wales is widely known as the hardest road on the TET to do. And I want to do that on the monkey because it's like this, it's a steep hill.
Is that the Strata Forward or something?
Yeah, I can't remember what it's called, but it is just like a steep, rotted hill.
There's shelves, there's like, stone shelves somewhere along that.
Yeah, so all of that, and I'm just like, I want to do it on the monkey because it'd be hilarious. That's it. I could do
anywhere on the monkey is going to be hilarious.
Yeah, I could do 10 miles of the TET, and it's like 400 miles worth of TET in Wales, and if I could do 10 miles of it and it's fucking hilarious, I don't care. That's literally, it'd be so funny.
So is that it? Mark,
I wondered what that was then. I literally
I wondered what it was as well when
I saw this shape bending round. What is he putting into his mouth?
It is blackcurrant, sugar-free Robinsons.
Careful what you say that.
Yeah. Mark from Near Leeds, have you got any like dual vids planned, collabs planned?
Well, we're supposed to be doing something, aren't we?
Who are you pointing
Sam,
at?
Mr. Sam. We've been talking for ages about doing a collab, and I did mention to Richard Vida that we should do a joint one when I saw him last time. So I might have to try and just.
We need to do I need to bring the monkey up and do those off-road trails with you, don't I?
Yeah, that'd be good.
Show you
Bruce, you'll have to come along as well.
Yeah.
Once I've got a crash bars. Once I've got a crash bars. No.
Outback Mototech. Outback Mototech.
I've bought some. I think they're SW Motec. I bought them from Louis Motorrad in Germany because they were the only place outside BMW that had any crash bars available at the time. So I bought them and they arrived about 2 months later. So
yeah, with a £700 import fee.
Yeah, it wasn't cheap.
Yeah.
Anyway, never mind. Actually, no, I'll take that back. With Los Motorrad, I don't think there was an import fee. But yeah, you pay for them. You do pay for them. But anyway, never mind. So that was Paul Rag, who is Raggy_Moto. Raggy with a W. WRAGGY_Moto. Next one, Mark Fulcher. How you doing, Fulch? Hey, up my ducks. Happy New Year and all that bollocks. So a couple of very, very quick questions as we're still in the post-Christmas blurry haze. So, looking forward to the rest of the year, what event, ride, road, or anything else that might be happening in your lives are you most looking forwards to? And it can be literally anything. And secondly, as Mark from Near Leeds is a YouTube legend, as Mark from Near Leeds has YouTube legend status, are you other boys feeling slightly overshadowed by it all? Thank him for the stickers he sent me, by the way. Love you boys. All the very best and shiny side up. Overwhelmed? No. What are you looking forward to most in the year ahead? I think, have we covered this?
We'll go again if you want.
Yeah, shall we? Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, Fulch, thank you for your sticker as well, mate. As well, lovely gesture. Thank you. You'll probably know Bruce. He does. He has a run of stickers made, and it's his lad's name.
Yeah.
So he puts these stickers out. So
Alfred.
Great. I really appreciate that. I was a little bit like worried what you were going to send me when you said send me your address. And that was it.
It's always nerve-wracking, isn't it? You're like, oh, what's this going to be?
Absolutely. But yeah, really do appreciate that, mate. Thank you very much. Patreon rides for me. Your Patreon rides, Bruce. Especially looking forward to the Northumberland one, and then when we get up to Scotland with Robert. And I've not explored masses amount in Scotland. I've been to like over to Mull, over that side, and Loch Awe, and Loch Awe, AWE.
But the first one, what was it called?
Mull.
No, the first bit. Something.
Yeah, Loch.
No.
You gotta make it sound like you got spit in your throat.
There you go. It's not hard, is it? Come on. Loch. There's no such thing as a loch. A loch is on a canal or in your door. It's loch.
Loch.
Bakes. Where do you live? Which part of Scotland do you live in, Bruce?
Just outside Maidstone in Kent.
Yeah. Did you say Kent? Did you say Kent, Bruce?
I did say Kent. Where'd you live? Wakefield. Wakefield.
Yeah, near Wakefield.
Near Leeds.
I'm not telling you everywhere exactly where I live, because I'll have people knocking on my door.
I'm going to get your address and I'm going to post it up in the description.
I've got it.
I'll send you it. I'll post your address, mate. I'll post your address as well.
Right, come on. Where are you looking for? We need to get through this because I think we're now halfway, and it is, yeah, exactly 3.5 hours in.
So,
Jesus,
Mark, did you answer?
Yeah, I did.
So this year, the trips I've got planned, Ollie Ray has asked me, well, we've been chatting about doing a Portugal trip later in November time.
Ooh.
So, and also, I haven't booked this yet, but I'm going to try. KTM do an adventure rally, where if you own, it's like the GS Trophy.
Yeah.
Oh, right, yeah.
And this year, the European one's in Portugal in October. So I haven't planned it yet. I haven't even got close to booking because it's quite a bit of money. But if I can do that, I might do that and then tag it onto the Portugal trip.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Do it.
Which would be
really cool.
Fucking awesome if I can.
So
yeah, I know Ollie likes he does a European trip once a year, doesn't he? And normally goes to Pecos, doesn't he?
Sam, live your life. Do it. Book it.
Woo-ha. Woo-ha.
Yeah. Excellent. Okay. And what I'm doing, Fulch, is tours. Just tours. I'm really looking forward to the America trip and the Greece road trip.
I'm looking forward to the America trip for you, mate.
Yeah. I'm interested because I'm going to be away by myself on that, and hopefully I'm going to meet up with a couple of people along the way. But I don't often get to ride places by myself. I'm usually doing tours, or like I'm away with like Canary or Toro. So it's very rare that I actually get somewhere new by myself, and I do miss that. But yeah, so that's
because you've been around the world, haven't you?
Well, I have, yes.
So you've just seen everything.
No, I definitely haven't. There's so many places I still want to go to, which still has to be done, but it's trying to figure out. Yeah, it's money, it's time, it's as everyone has commitments at home. It's
Live.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And it'll happen.
Life.
It's just figuring out the logistics for it. Like I have a business to run, which if I run it properly, will fund the trip. But it's getting to that position where I can do that as well as looking after things at home. Everything that everyone else faces. So
TMF has got every video planned for the next 6 years or something. So get him to do your editing, and you just bugger off and we transfer him the
with the greatest
files.
Respect. No.
We're
I didn't say anything.
Just a video of you in front of a camera and just goes, here's the top 5 things.
Yeah, but like Andy's channel is like Andy is the GOAT for bike YouTube. It's Andy, like his channel is what started all of this. You had Baron von Grumble doing the vlogging, and then you had Missenden Flyer that started doing all the bike reviews. And everybody, no matter what you say, everyone in the UK is following on because of what Andy started. Yeah. Now, Andy's style isn't my style, but his style is really successful, and it's done really well by him. Yeah. Now there's a lot of people copying that and doing that style, and I don't want to step on Andy's toes, but I know from conversations with him that there might be a few changes afoot, and I'm interested. I'm excited to see how that happens with his channel. But I do think like a lot of us wouldn't be doing this if TMF hadn't started doing it, because he's brought this bike side of YouTube to the fore, where everyone looks at it and goes, I could give that a bash, and everyone goes out and does it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I might be wrong, but that's also, my take on it.
You say you're not stepping on each other's toes. You have both just bought a 1300 GS.
Well, he's not bought his yet. He's not bought it yet.
He's going to, isn't he? Let's be honest.
Of course he will, because he's coming from a 1200, and well, I'm not going to steal his shoes, but I'm not going to steal his thunder. But I was chatting to him today, and he was just like, "Oh my god, this bike is fucking incredible." Yeah. So to become from like an old 1200 to this brand new 1300 must be a huge step.
There you go, MFL. There's your next video, MFL, MFNL, MFNL. MFNL.
That's the new one. That's the new one. MFNL.
Fuck's sake.
See, this is how Mark from Leeds started.
You've done Dickie Vegas over, haven't you?
Really?
Dickie Anus and all the rest of it. And now I'm MFN Anal.
I love it.
Fuck's sake.
This is how legends are made. MF Anal. Beautiful. Here we go. David McCracken. Now that Mark is officially famous and all that, surely it should be Leeds from near Mark. Could we start a petition?
Anal from near Mark.
Took her right up the mark. Anyway, John Powell. Hi all, and a happy new year. For whoever wants to answer, question 1. I've just ordered one of Nathan Millward's cheap CCM MT230 bikes to start a bit of green laning. Do I try and get lessons first, or just head out with the mates? Just head out.
Yeah, just go for it, man. Go for it.
There is a thing called, I think it's just Open Byway Map or openmap.byway or something like that. Just literally Google byway maps near me, and it will show you a green line of your local area of where every single open to all traffic byway is.
Really?
Go on that. Yeah, it's great. I use it all the time. I've done all the ones near me now, but go on that. Take your bike out. Don't go out with mates the first couple of times. Get your confidence first, because if someone's better than the other, if someone's really good and someone's really shit, you'll end up trying to keep up with them and you'll end up coming off. Mm-hmm. Get yourself some actual off-road tires. If you've bought a bike specific for that, perfect. Put some proper knobblies on it. Don't go with a half-assed kind of in-between ones. It doesn't work. Go with some proper off-road tires. Are you going to bed?
Yeah.
Okay, bye. It's only
Night,
gone 10
Emma.
o'clock. Bruce said night. Mark said I'll be up in a bit. So what do you think of Mark's new nickname? You know his MFL? And you know it was
MFNL.
MFNL, which was Mark from near Leeds. It's now MFAnal.
Fantastic.
She said fantastic. So you're
to
welcome.
to anal.
Yeah.
And Sam's gone.
Yeah. See you later, guys. I'm
Sorry,
going to
Emma. Sorry, Emma. Sorry.
let's have some MFAnal. Anyway,
What was the name
Like
of that
throwing a
website
sausage
again?
up Briggett.
It's literally just if you type in byway map. I'll do it right now because it is saved in one of my things.
This is a good podcast.
It's just called bywaymap.com. And it will show you, if I show you now, you won't be able to see, but can you see
Okay.
it's got a map of the UK, and if I zoom in, I'll just go into this part. You've got all these green lines, which are just all
This is this
byways.
off-road bollocks, isn't it? Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it shows you all the byways near you, and then just go and dick around, have a bit of fun. Don't go too fast. Put some proper tyres on, none of the half-assed stuff.
That's great advice. Yeah.
Because
I've looked on this before.
Yeah. As much as I love, like I've got Anarchy Adventures on my bike at the moment, which are fantastic, and they're fine for gravelly roads, but as soon as you touch mud, grass, anything like that, they're crap. Same thing with the Scorpion Rally STRs, anything like that. They're not road tyres and they're not off-road tyres. They're compromised. So you'll find that your front end washes out or whatever. Get some proper off-road tyres.
What would you recommend?
I only buy for my bike. So like I've got on the Monkey, I've got Kenda big blocks. On the Super Adventure for ABR, I have either Anarchy Wilds or TKC 80s. And that's as road focused as I'd go on a proper off-road bike.
Right. What about you, Mark? You do a lot of off-roading.
Yeah. I think the Anarchy Wilds and the TKC 80s, they're a very similar tyre. And I think they're probably as blocky as you can get.
For a road tyre, yeah. For something that handle on the road, yeah.
Yeah, unless Kappa X, which is, I think I'm going to go down that road if I take my GS to the ABR. I'm going to either do that or buy an Anarchy Wild rear tyre, which is only what I need. But on the KTM, I'm using Michelin Trackers, which I think they're bloody fantastic tyre.
Right, okay.
And that'll be on Michelin Trackers on any dirt type bike. So if it's a CRF, if it's a KTM, Husky, whatever, because that's a good tyre for the road when you're obviously hacking between the lanes and stuff like that. You need something that's going to be moderately sticky for the road. You know what I mean? So it's
what sort of mileage do you get from them? These like off-road type tyres. What are you getting?
Not a right lot. A couple of thousand miles.
Okay, all right. But we're not talking hundreds. We're talking a couple of thousand.
Yeah. On the little bikes, and probably about 3,000 miles on the big bikes.
I got 1,200 miles out of a rear tyre on a TKC NT on my Super Adventure. Yeah. Like,
you're a straight line warrior, Sam, so you know.
Try me. Off road, I will go circles around you.
Off road, yeah.
My favourite thing at the ABR was overtaking and undertaking people on proper big adventure bikes and enduro bikes on the Monkey bike.
Mate, we were doing it on those little Sinus things. We overtook a whole load of KTM and BMW GSs on the little pissy
it's so easy.
off-road circuit.
Yeah, it's so easy to ride the little bikes fast off road. It takes much more.
Dickie snapped the frame. And was it the frame he snapped? He knackered. Oh no, was it the chain?
He
snapped the chain. The chain came off, didn't it?
Yeah, he snapped the chain off the little Sinus. Yeah. That was great fun, that. Right, we've got to power through this, boys, because this is getting ridiculous. I want to at least cover the clan questions.
Yeah, that'd be better than my last one.
Get through them. Yeah.
Let's go.
So that was John Powell. First question. Second question. My lad is 16 next January, and we're looking for a project, a geared moped for him. If he wants an off-road looking bike, such as the Derby Senda, Do you meet many mopeds on your green laning travels? And if so, what bikes are they?
Honda Cubs or CT Trail 125s. Those are the only mopeds. You can't get CT Trail in this country for under $8,000 because everyone imports them.
Wow.
Because they don't sell them in this country. But a Honda Cub is surprisingly used off-road. The monkey bike is the enduro version of the Grom. But if you want a cheap bike that you can throw around, something like a Suzuki, is it a DR400 or something like that?
Yeah.
You can get the 125s.
DZ
ones.
DZ.
Yeah. Something like that.
Or DZ or what? Yeah.
Yeah. But you can throw those around. You can fix them really cheap.
The Cubs become a bit of a cult classic now, isn't it?
Yeah.
Ed Marsh and
Yeah.
Nathan doing his postie bikes. Do you know what? I didn't used to. He used to rub me up the wrong way, Ed, when I watched his contact. What's that?
I don't.
That's amazing. That series, the little 4x4 Jeep. That's amazing.
I don't love the guy, but I love
just
watching his stuff.
Yeah,
he comes across as so arrogant, like going, "Oh, I'll have to suck this person off now because they've bought me a laptop," and I'm like, why did you say that? Why?
Yeah, but
that
in fairness, that's the kind of thing
that did. Yeah, fair.
I have to say.
But
something
I do think
now I love it. Now I love all that.
I think what he's done is very genius. You know what I mean? I think I'm just working through that little 4x4 thing at the moment. So
that whole attitude of, okay, I'm going to go for it. Do you know what I mean? I love that.
I like that. That.
You can't do it on that. Watch me. I love it. I like the chap. Oh God, I can't believe I've forgotten his name. I do apologise. The chap that converted his GS to an outboard motor, turned it into a raft. You know, to do the Darien Gap. I mean, Dylan Wackrama. I love all that shit where people just go, do you know what? Hold my beer. I'm going to go and do it. I love it. It's brilliant. Nathan riding all the way back from Australia to the UK and then across America on a little 110cc postie bike. I love that.
The thing
I do particularly like watching the content where it's not easy. You know, like when Rich did his Out of Everybody's trip, and it was the snow and the cold, and same with Kate when Kate did her Germany trip, and she had to take avoiding action with that car that didn't stop. You know that it was so cold the whole time, and it wasn't easy. And her and a partner, can't remember his name now, Mike. They both just bossed that, and they just got on with it, didn't they? You know what I mean? And I really do like that sort of content where it was so natural and organic, you know what I mean? It's that's what I like. So I'd like Rich to do some cold, because he's been pointed out there, where shall I go? What shall I do?
Yeah, what's he doing this year? He keeps all this really tight to his chest.
Just going to go for a wee.
Yeah, no worries, Paul.
All right.
Yeah, he's keeping this year very close to his chest.
His last video that he just put out the other day, he's saying that I've made no decision at this moment in time. Put in the comments, what do you think I should do, or where do you think I should go? But me personally, I think he should get on his bike and go east and try and find the cold weather. That's what I'd like. That's what I'd like to see him do.
Yeah, you'd have to go fairly far though to find it.
Like to Poland or to, I don't know, up to maybe towards Norway or somewhere like that. Or
I would love to do Norway, but I've spoken with some Norwegian folk I know, and they're just like, you just won't make it. And it's not a case of me going, fuck you, I'm going to try it. I listen to them and they're going, not a chance. You're just not going to get through that. And,
what, in winter? You mean in winter?
Yeah, because I know, like to go to Nordkap, I know how far that is. It's like 5,000 fucking miles. It's a long way, and it's like I'm doing a thing with Gerben next month. Actually, in the Gerbing, their heated kit. But I said to them, look, I don't just want to do one of these. Oh, I've got some heated kit and I'm doing this, and it's fucking 11 degrees outside. Do you know what I mean?
No.
I want to do something that tests the kit, So, and it's
Yeah,
got to be organic for me. It
yeah,
just has to be organic, not a sales pitch.
yeah.
So I was like, right,
You'll,
I'll
yeah,
I'll do. I've got the new GS. I've sort of set a stable for myself where I do these around the UK rides, and I've done it on the 125. I've done it on the electric. I tried to do it on the
yeah.
1250 GSA and it broke down. I'm like, right, let's
Bloody
take the
KTMs.
1300. Yeah, let's take the 1300 and let's try and do it in under the 48 hours like you're supposed to for the iron butt. But I'm going to do it in February when hopefully the shit weather will be there, and I'll take the Gerbing gear. And if it's cold,
Mhm.
it's a perfect chance to trial the Gerbing gear, isn't it?
I
Sam
look
V
forward to
Bikes
seeing that.
YT for 10% off.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. There you go. So that's my plan. But in my head, I'm like, well, Dickie's done it. Dickie's already done
Yeah,
the riding in the snow. But then I'm like, well, fuck it. I'll go and do it. And you just don't know what's going to happen, do you? You could get a puncture. Your bike
no,
could break down. I might
yeah,
crash. Somebody might crash. Who knows what's going to happen? It's about the
Might crash
adventure, isn't
into
it?
you.
But yeah, it's about the adventure, isn't it? You're never going to know
mm,
what's going to happen on that adventure unless you turn the ignition, hit the starter, and go. That's when you're going to see what happens. There's no point in going, this might happen, that might happen. It might. Something amazing might happen. Just go and
mm,
you'll find out. Right,
yeah.
anyway, that's that done. Michael Heaton. How you doing, Michael? Happy New Year, you three. Just wondering if you're enjoying a bit of off-road riding more than on-road riding. No. Now, I seem to be. Love your work. Keep it up. Michael is the chap that organised the
I
Gymkhana
know
thing I
Michael.
did with Pete English. Lovely fella.
Yeah,
Lovely
yeah.
fella. Um,
I can say he's a pal. I can say he's a pal of mine. You know what I mean? We've done the off roading, and
he's part
he's
of
on
your
our
off-roading group now, isn't he?
yeah, yeah. He's a good lad. He actually facilitated the sale of my CRF to his mate. So now his mate's riding my. Now I've got my CRF, and he sends me videos and stuff saying he's called John, lovely bloke who came down to collect the bike. He sends me the videos through saying, John managed to not drop your
Nice
bike
one.
today, Mark, like that, you know what I mean? So brilliant. And he's 70, John, as well. You know what I mean?
Good
He's a
effort. Good
lovely
on you,
bloke,
John.
and he
Nice one, pal.
gets out and does it.
John, that clutch is absolutely munted, mate.
I am in answering your question, Michael. I genuinely enjoyed Morocco off road. After about I think the third day, certainly in the last day or two,
The third week.
yeah, the last day or two, I really got into it. It was like, oh, okay, now I'm seeing where this attraction is. Starting to see it now. Good lad on the whiskey. So yeah, it's
Again.
something I definitely want to do a little bit more of.
Mm,
I still prefer road riding. I still prefer track, definitely above off road. But that's just, I think, probably just because I feel more comfortable doing that. But yeah, I just enjoy.
Kudos to Morocco, mate. Kudos to Morocco.
Yeah.
You did brilliant.
I recommend Morocco
and some.
to
And some.
absolutely anyone and everyone that's done a little bit of Morocco, done a little bit of Europe, or has done a little bit of touring on the road and just fancy something different. Go to Morocco. It's easy.
Yeah.
It's easy to get in. It's easy to ride. If you aim for the main cities, you're going to find the hotels. You're going to find everything that you'll find in mainland Europe. But if you push yourself outside of that, and certainly if you venture off of the tarmac, if you can find it, because they're tarmacking everywhere now, you're going to get a little bit of wilderness and you're going to get a little bit of outside of your normal comfort zone. And it's, unless you venture right out into the desert, you're never really in danger because there's always going to be people. And even in the desert, people turn up. People just turn up. So just go for it.
It's definitely on my bucket list. That definitely.
Hey, you'd love it.
Yeah.
You boys would love it. You need to respect it for what it is. You can't be foolhardy. You need to make sure you've got water. You need to make sure you've got like some basic navigation skills. Like the sun's up here, the sun's setting, it's coming down. So that means that way's west. Do you know what I mean? Like basic shit like that. So, okay, I've got a vague idea where I am out here, and I think the next city is north. So head north and you'll find a road. Do you know what I mean? If you're doing the off-road stuff. Yeah, it's enough of a challenge, but there's also what you know. So you've got what you know there, the comforts, for sure. Do it. Just do it. You'll love it.
The thing I love about off-road, I know it comes up quite a lot, but the thing I love about it is there's nowhere to hide.
Yeah. Yeah.
But there's like you can on the road if you're in a group of people and you're doing just legal road speeds. There's a group of people like when I did that ride out thing, you know, my Yorkshire ride out last year or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Emma came along on her NC750X, and we're all on 130 horsepower plus bikes, having a great time. She kept up. Yeah. She had a real struggle keeping up. 55 horsepower bike that weighs the same as Bristol, and brakes on it that are okay. But she could, if you're a confident enough person, you could probably blag that. You're like, oh yeah, it's the bike that's keeping. You can't do that off road. If like you put, I mean, I'm okay, but if you put me next to someone like Lel Pavey or Chris Northover or whoever it's going to be,
English.
What do you mean? World class off roaders? Yeah.
I'm nearly there. No, it's you can't hide. You can't. You can sort of wing it, but you will come off.
Yeah, that's like saying I can toddle round the track on a track day in the novice group and spank most people in the novice group.
Yeah.
But put me on the track with Valentino Rossi. In fact, forget that. My mate Jimbo, who just raced it like the No Limits Cup level, and he will spank the arse out of me.
Yeah, but it's a different type of riding. I think it's
a different discipline.
Yeah, but I think the thing with off-road that I love is that it humbles everyone. Like if you're you can't brag about being good off-road without like proving your worth kind of thing. And some people, and also the other thing I love is the people that are fantastic off-road are the most humble guys ever. Like, I mean, Mark, you've ridden with him. Dave, he's a dap hand off-road.
Dave Ashpole.
Pete, Gashpole. Pete is a really like humble guy, but he's fantastic off-road.
Yeah,
and all
makes
these
it look
people
effortless.
Yeah. But it's just like, I mean, there's a level of, okay, you've grown up on it, so it's natural. It's harder to be a road rider where you've learnt your craft on road and then take it off-road. It's way easier for people like me that did motocross for years. But
I think it's easier to ride on road than it is off-road.
Yeah.
Because it's the opposite of everything that you've ever done on road.
Yeah.
The bike's loose. You've got zero feedback through the tires. Which, you know, your bike on road, your bike's stable. You've got a lot of information coming back through your handlebars, through the tires, and all the rest of it.
It takes a fight to learn how to get that feedback. Like,
it's a dance.
Yeah, that's why I originally didn't like riding the GS 1250, because when I took it off road,
you don't get the feedback.
That you can't feel anything through. I mean, it does everything really well, but you can't feel what the front wheel's doing.
Yeah,
and I want to know. Like, I want to know if my front wheel hits a stone.
Yeah,
try and ride a GS with off-road tires. Because you get Bruce, you know, don't you? Because you rode with, say, 50/50 tires or whatever, you know what I mean, and it becomes even less. It becomes even much more of a commitment.
Yeah. I've got so used to the way the GS is that I just like it, and I feel when I ride
I like it as well.
When I ride a bike that's not a GS, it almost feels too easy to ride, if that makes sense. You know, it's like I don't know. It's like the bike just seems to stick like glue. You take a Triumph out, the Triumph Speed Triple, for example. You know, that thing is like a razor anyway. It's like a knife on the road. It goes
if it's not leaking oil.
Well, yeah, of course. Well, same could be said about
That's what I said. Anyway. That's any joke I can get in before KTM, I'll do it.
What's this? My GS will be pissing oil when I go out to it. Anyway, I think I didn't realize there was that lack of feel to the GS because I got so used to it that when I rode another bike, it was like, oh, this thing's almost like too easy. It's like it's telling you what it's doing. And then you have a bit of time on like a proper road bike. You jump back on the GS and you're almost like, oh, this thing's vague as fuck. And it takes you a while to tune in. And then you've tuned in again and you're back on it. Yeah. But I think it's interesting what you're saying about off-road. Like I find, obviously I'm no guru off-road. I don't claim to be. But when it started to just tick with me in Morocco, was like, it's all about the throttle. It's like you steer with the throttle, you almost brake with the throttle. It's just everything's throttle on it and body position, isn't it? It's just
body position is the massive thing. But also, I think the thing my dad used to do enduro and motocross and all this sort of stuff when I learned to do off road, and it's picking up that someone will tell you like. It sounds like ridiculous, but the reason most off-road bikes are singles or twins is because of the way the firing order, which means that the rotation of the wheel between each rotation means that there's a bigger pause, which means the tires can get more grip. And you end up like sitting there going, if I'm doing an inline four that's really smooth, there's no traction. Whereas if I'm on a twin that's doing this, obviously very minute, it gets more traction. You kind of go. And then eventually you get to the point where you can go, fuck, I can feel that. Like I can feel if I slow my throttle down or if I'm in a different gear, it actually makes a difference. And then also leaning into a corner with your knee, so dropping the bike in rather
where you put
than
your hips and your shoulders.
And it makes such, and also like that's why I love this brake magazine, because simple things like move your foot off the back and drop your heels.
Aye.
So you get all of your. And also, like I think a massive. I said it to you before, haven't I, Mark? But going back to the guy asking for tips a couple of questions ago, stand up. Like that's there's points where sitting down off road works, like going up hills and stuff when you need the rear traction. But if you stand up, it takes all of the minute details and minute bumps and stuff out of you're not doing this going up a hill. You're completely still, and the bike's just moving around underneath you. So loosen your grips, loosen your feet, loosen everything, grip with your knees and just stand up and the bike will just go up it.
I genuinely felt, well, I know I ride quicker off-road when I'm sat down than I do when I'm stood up. And that's irrespective of whether I'm on a 350 Husky or the 1250 GS. If I'm sat down, I can just pin it and I can, when I eventually edit this vid when we went off-road with Pete English, Mark, you'll see when I'm sat down, I can give it some beans. Stood up, I just felt totally unbalanced and like I couldn't.
You're 15 foot tall though, aren't you?
Yeah. In Toro, it changed slightly because they tilted the bars a little bit to bring them a wee bit further, roll them forward a bit more. So it's more focused to being stood up. But even stood up on the GS, I'm still hunched over. I looked at other people like Pete's just stood bolt upright. Right.
Yeah.
But drop the heels, stand bolt upright.
Yeah, drop your heels, and then also you end up moving I'm like that on the bike, but if you ride my bike, my throttle, my brake and my clutch are slightly further down.
Yeah.
And people go, why are you doing that? Well, it's because when you're stood up, you want your hands like that. You don't, careful, Mark's getting excited. But if like it's fitting, you've done your whole riding career on sitting down. But I guarantee, like the difference is you might be faster, but then if a stone hits your rear wheel, and it does that, if you were stood up, you'd probably save it.
Yeah, when you stood up, none of that bothers you, does it? All the bike kicking around, it just doesn't bother you. I totally accept that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Next question.
God, yeah. We are 4 hours in. Jesus Christ.
You're going to beat me, Mark.
Paul Sparrow. Happy New Year to you all. Welcome, gents, and I hope MF Near L is ready for all the abuse she said you were both going to give him. Anal. MF Anal. Yeah. Sam, as a gay icon and Mark's love for you, are you a little worried he is now sharing the fact he has a butt plug to the world? Hang on, I've missed this. You've got a butt plug.
Mark
from near Leeds. MF Anal has a butt plug.
MF Anal.
Yeah, I don't know what he means by that. I don't.
Is that a Mark Sparrow? Is that a Mark from near Leeds, like not embroidered, embossed one?
Yeah, that's why he's bought the CNC machine.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
You're going to get some fucking dick stuff, Bruce, now. I'm going to fucking send you a load of stuff through.
Listen, it's not me that's saying this. Paul Sparrow is saying. So apparently you've let the fact you have a butt plug loose to the world. There's no problem with that, Mark. No problem.
I think he's playing
whatever
the
rocks your
situation
boat.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're denying that, are we? Okay.
I mean,
can I tell you about that time when Paul Sparrow nearly actually went into a wall? That's
No,
why we
it's not
call him
interesting. I want to know about your
That's
butt
why we call
plug.
him That's why we call him Wall Sparrow now.
MF I want to know about your butt plug. What's the butt
I
plug
don't
story?
even know what he's talking about.
There's
He's
nothing
setting me
wrong
up a
with it.
kipper right here.
There is nothing wrong with it. Do a TMF and just say that you've left a butt plug in your videos, and people will go back and check your videos.
No, because
Genius.
when he
Marketing
farts and it
genius.
just goes, then they'll know they haven't got it in.
Okay, we'll draw a discreet veil over that. Mark, we love your channel and admire the content, but I'm afraid you have some work to do before you take the title, the tile of the wall from me. What's that mean?
The title, the wall. I don't know.
What's the wall? What's that?
Because he's calling him the wall sparrow. That's why. We jibe him about him almost crashing into a wall.
All right.
So I don't know what it means by that.
Paul, have you ever ridden into the person in front of you for no reason whatsoever?
Well, obviously there was a reason.
Yeah, you didn't stop in time. That's the reason.
He stopped and I didn't. That's the reason. Come on, Bruce.
Right, next one. Sam, what plans for trips have you got on the table for 2024? No excuses of moving house before you start. We kind of covered that. Go on.
Yeah, kind of covered it. Portugal, hopefully Norway, tech trip on the Monkey, and the Taffy Dakar is currently what's booked in.
Where are you going in Norway?
I want to do the full. Well, I mean, I want to do the whole thing, but I have
go Nordcat.
Yeah, I have a very strong suspicion that I'm not going to be able to afford it.
It is a long, long way.
Yeah. So I mean, I'm not bothered about that. It's more the I think I probably want to see if I can do. Is it R1 Liz that did the the affordable Norway trip? I kind of want to do something like that, but obviously she did it first, so it's a bit. But Emma,
could I give my 10 pence worth here? Forget Norway, go Sweden into Finland, and go up Finland and go off road in Finland in the summer.
Oh, now I'm lucky I'm sitting down.
Honestly,
thinking
my
about
mate
that
Little
off-road.
Ed, my mate Little Ed, set out to do. He's done Norway as well off road, but he on a GS. He's done it on Triumph, and then now he's got the GS. But he loves off road. He's a recent off road convert within the last sort of say 4 or 5 years. And he took a couple of mates, and they went and did Finland, well, Sweden for a bit, and then Finland because he used to live in Sweden, but loved it. Absolutely loved it. Finland is cheap compared to Norway. It is. If you think Norway is beautiful and remote, Finland is. I mean, it's maybe not quite as beautiful as Norway is, but it's like almost untouched. Once you get north of like Helsinki and a couple of little cities that are there, just start heading up, and it is spectacular. The trails that you'll be taking will be all the snowmobile trails that they do in the winter. Well, like from September onwards. So yeah.
I'm going to need a tyre sponsor before I do this, though.
Well, okay, do it. Contact people.
Continental, Michelin, and everyone. If you want to fight for my sponsorship channel, go.
No, don't do it like that. Like, get yourself a business plan. Right, for me anyway, this is how I'd approach it. I don't know if this is right, but this is how I would approach it. I'd go, right, this is what I'm going to do. This is how long it's going to take. This is how much I think I need to do it. And these are the reasons why I think it's going to be that much. This is the content that I'm going to produce. I'm going to produce X amount of videos titled bang, 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 bang. Give them the SEO behind that. Like, why are the videos titled it? And what's your search strings? What are you targeting for each video, right? Bang. Just have an idea. Could be bullshit. You might not do that, but just have something in your head that, okay, I'm putting some thought into it. Then approach these companies and go, it's going to cost me this much. I'm doing it on this date. I want this from you. And for that, I'm going to give you this. Bang, 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 bang.
I'll do all of that. And I'll go, what I'm going to do is on the 8th day, I'm going to accidentally format my SD card and lose everything. So you're going to give me 3 sets of tires for no reason.
Yeah, but that's a gamble they take. Yeah. Right, and in which case your name's mud and you'll never ever get any business with them ever again. It's a gamble you take. I've done it. You know, I've done it a couple of times recently where thankfully I didn't have any sponsors involved, but I've just deleted the SD cards for some fucking stupid reason. I thought I'd copied them over and I hadn't. So don't do it. You'll do it. I was going to say you'll do it once. I've done it about 3 times, but you know,
I've done
like
that once.
There's so many people go, oh, I tried to get sponsors. Oh, I couldn't get anything. You're like, okay, how did you try and get sponsors?
Yeah.
I've got a YouTube channel. Fucking brilliant. So is
Yeah.
umpteen
So is
thousand
every
other
man
people.
and their dog,
What are you
yeah.
going to do? It's a business. If you're trying to get a sponsor on board, it's a business. That's what
Yeah.
I found so hard to deal with for the world trip was converting my baby into a business. And I didn't for the round the world trip. I just didn't. I just that it never really clicked. But
Yeah.
that's what you have to do. It's like what they'll get on board if you can show them what sort of return they're going to get. Or you
Yeah.
can't show them exactly what return they're going to get, but you can show them that you've put some thought into it and what you're hoping. And you've got channel analytics, you've got audience demographics, you've got all that, audience retention. You've got everything that you can show them. And go, right, bang, there you go. Come on, live
Yeah.
your life. It can either happen or it can be something you thought you always were going to do.
Yeah, I mean that's the only thing I like. I say it to my dad a lot, but the only thing that not haunts me, but like my gran, she's still with us, but she's now pretty much bed bound / sofa bound. She sits in a chair for 10 hours a day, 12 hours a day, and she regularly tells me that she's done, or regularly tells my parents that she's just done. Like I'm over this now, sitting in a chair. But the one thing she wanted to do was go to Switzerland.
Yeah.
And she never did because, I mean, it was way harder back then. Yeah, I get that. But you kind of go, well, it's only Switzerland. And it's so achievable now. But it is now. But kids came and jobs came and all this sort of stuff, and things get in the way.
But I'm
and
not
she just
funny.
sits there going,
I'm not being funny, mate. You know, you're at that age now where, you know, you're settling down with your missus, you're buying a house. I don't know what your plans are in the future, and I don't want to pry, but potentially kids are on the horizon. And when kids come, things change. Things change massively, hugely. So, you know, you are at that point now where realistically, probably for the next 10 years, you're probably not going to be in a point if the family is on the horizon, you're not going to be in a position where you're as carefree as you are presently. You might not feel it that you're carefree, but things change. Once kids come on the horizon, things totally change.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, you can still have your own time, but I would hazard a guess.
I'll just leave Emma at home. And I'll sod off around the world for 6 years.
You can do, but it'll probably cost you your house and probably your bike.
I haven't got it yet.
Your car.
Yeah. We haven't completed yet. It's fine.
Do you know what I mean? Like, there is all the issues that stop you from doing something now. I can't afford it. I haven't got the time. Blah, 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 blah. Let's be honest, unless you win the lottery or something like that, they are never, ever going to change. So it's just like, right, how do I combat that? How do I afford it? Do I remortgage? Do I credit card? Do I save? Do I work like overtime? What do I do to combat the financial side of it? And then for time, it's just like, okay, I have to pick. Where is it I want to go? What is it I want to do? How long do I think that's going to take? 3 weeks, 4 weeks? Okay. 2 weeks, 5 days, whatever it is. Okay. Where can I fit that time in? And what do I need to do in order to accommodate that? I've got to keep the missus happy. Why would the missus be fucked off because I'm disappearing for that length of time? This, and this. Right, okay. Let me try and work out a viable solution for those issues to keep them sweet and make sure their life is inconvenienced as little as possible. If you can't do that, you have to sit down with them and just go, look, this is something I really need to do. Well, if we do this, then I'll do X. I'll do Y. If you give me X, I'll do Y. If it comes to that,
if you let me sod off around the world for 2 years on my bike, I might have a kid with you.
Do you know what I mean?
I think, to be fair, I think it's. If
they're the right person, they will.
Yeah, and I think Emma would as well, and she's always known that I'm in that mindset that nothing's complete yet. Like the reason we don't have kids yet is because I don't feel like I've done what I want to do or need to do. And I think that there's points where I'm like, well, yes, sodding off around the world for a year and a half on a full world trip is a different question. But stuff like 4 weeks, I could take that off work. I could wang it on a credit card. You could do it. That's fine. There's a few things there's a few tick boxes that I want to sort first, like the house. Yeah. 1390 Super Duke and all those other things. But if I can get some bits sorted, there's no reason why I wouldn't do some bigger trips. Like I've done it before. I've done like we did a month and a bit around Europe and stuff like that. So it's definitely possible. The bigger trip is going to be, how do I do this, and how do I make this work whilst we've got 2 screaming kids at home.
That's a different kettle of fish, but it is possible. It definitely is possible, but it's a different.
Nothing's not impossible, but it
has to be something not that you want to do. It's got to be something you have to do. That's the difference.
I think that's the thing, and it's same thing with you, same thing with my gran. God, this really has gone whiskey conversation, hasn't it? But
it's got deep. All of a sudden, it's not about anal and butt plugs.
Yeah, that can be quite deep. But it's I don't care how successful I am in whoever's eyes. I don't care any of that stuff. Jimmy Carr made the comment of like I think it's the meaning of life is enjoying the passage of time, I think is how he put it. And I'm like, I can't, there's an element of that, but then that's how you view that, how you view enjoying the passage of time. But for me, it's more, I don't want to sit there on my deathbed or when I'm 80 and incontinent and all that sort of stuff saying, I wish I did that. And if I do that, I haven't had a successful life. If I can sit there and just go, yeah, I wanted to go to Norway, so I did. And I wanted to do this. And it wasn't as perfect as I wanted it to be, but I still made it happen. Then,
but I tell you what, like travel changed things for me and my outlook on life, in that traveling made me appreciate what I actually have, and it made me appreciate my missus. It made me appreciate my family and my friends. And I add so much more weight to that now than perhaps I did before. Not that I didn't love my family and friends and my missus, but I maybe took them for granted a bit, and traveling, it was just like, do you know what? There ain't really much more to life than what you have around you, like what is your family unit, and with that I include good friends, and I think I add a lot more weight to that now than maybe I did before. Not to say I still have the need to travel, for sure, it's still there, but my priorities have I haven't done it all. There's loads I still need to do and I want to do, but whereas before it would have been, well, I want to do that, so I'm going to go and do it. Now it's like, I want to do that, but I have obligations and priorities, and I'm not even commitment, things I want. I love spending time at home. I love spending time around, my family and my friends. And it's like, if I go away for if I was to go away for a year, it's a year I'm away from all that. And it's a year that they're worried about me and all this sort of stuff. And to be honest,
see the dog.
Kind of, yeah. Sadly to say,
but
that sort of stuff didn't bother me before.
What will you get out of it, though? Do you reckon you'll get more out of it being away or being at home?
On a selfish note, yes, because I'd be able to go, I've done it. In terms of life experience, it would probably just add to what I got from the first trip, I think. Like Africa's a big thing. Africa's a big carrot, not even carrot. It's a big stick that's sort of tapping me on the back of the head all the time, because I'm like, you fucking beat me. And I hate that. I want to go back and do it.
When is that? Come on. You're saying to me that I need to put a date on this. Come on, let's work out this.
Africa is not even a date. Like, I'll tell you what has to happen first is the cycle around the UK. That has to happen. I have this thing about rowing the Atlantic.
You keep mentioning that. It's
always there. It's especially this time of year, because they're doing the Talisker Atlantic Road just now. They're actually doing it.
I don't get it, to be honest, but
it's just there.
It's your thing. It's your thing that makes you tick. But I don't
want to do it with anybody. I want to do it solo. But that is a long way off. Like the cycle around the UK is probably a couple of years at some point in the next couple of years.
I don't really get that either.
I said I'll do it, so I have to do it. It has to happen. So I've just got to put my money where my mouth is. I've said it. I'm going to do it. I've got to do it.
You need to create a zip for your mouth.
It's
If you don't say it, then you don't have to do it.
I kind of live by the ethos that if I've said it, I wanted to do it, then I need to do it.
Have you heard of Sean Conway? Have you heard of Sean Conway?
Yeah. I've had him on the podcast.
Oh, have you ever met him? Brilliant.
Yeah.
He's absolutely
Cracking
brilliant.
geezer. Amazing geezer.
Yeah, brilliant. I watched his series. I'm totally hooked on his series.
Yeah.
I can't remember if I watched it before.
He did the world's biggest
already...
triathlon at the time as well, didn't he? Where he cycled, ran, and swam around the UK.
Yeah.
He's got loads of world records. He cycled the longest distance. He broke his back, didn't he? He broke his back cycling. He was going to cycle around the world, and he broke his back crossing America. Some truck hit him, and he carried on cycling with a broken back.
Wimp.
Nuts up.
Slightly off that. Do you know anything of Ross Edgerly?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
the machine. Yeah.
He swam around the UK.
Mm-hmm.
Like did the whole thing, and like I was watching there was a documentary that followed it, and he was talking about how his tongue had eroded from all the salt water and stuff, and you're like, and the guy does that, he goes into recovery for like 3 or 4 weeks afterwards, and then he's like, oh, I'm just going to do this now. What I want to know what is powering you, because it's insane, and he does it with a massive smile on his face.
He put himself into intensive care, didn't he, on his was it his last swim?
Yeah,
was it something like a 24-hour or 48-hour swim?
Yeah,
was it Loch Lomond or
the
longest distance ever swam? Wasn't it? Is that not what he's going for?
Loch Lomond.
No, it doesn't exist.
Loch.
I tell you what. Do you know somebody has swam across? Is it the Pacific? They swam across.
Can you be more specific?
I'm sure it was the Pacific. It was like a proper ocean. They swam across the ocean. You're like,
wait, just get a plane. It's so much quicker.
How the hell do you do that? Anyway, right. Paul's last little bit of his question. Oh no, he said, Mark, any plans to take your channel in any specific direction, more green lane or a combination of road trips and the green lane?
Yeah, pretty much copy and paste. Road and green lane, to be honest, yeah. Whatever I'm doing on any given weekend, the camera will be there and
just sharing your bike life.
Basically, yeah.
I think that's a great idea, mate. It's you'll not see massive growth, but you'll see consistent growth, and the people that do choose to like subscribe and watch and comment, there'll be people that will engage a lot to it. Yeah. So
I think my plan's more to do like the dual camera effort where I'm talking to the camera more, and I want to incorporate a bit more B-roll into it, and just sort of jazz it up like what you do, Bruce. You know what I mean? Add a little bit of music to cut into the beat, and I want to just sort of expand on that, but maybe do some bit more purposeful B-roll rather than just creating some B-roll that I've already filmed. Like when we went to the Isle of Man, I purposely wanted to film riding onto the ferry because that was just the romance of riding onto a ferry going somewhere. But I created that at the start of the video, so that part didn't happen in sequence because I tried to do things in sequence and
chronological. Same.
Yeah. But what I'm starting to do is I'm starting to take things out of sequence in some aspects by adding it in as a clip beforehand, like a bit of a taster. And I sort of copied what Rich did on one of his videos where he rode on. It was just there, and he'd finished his trip, and he was just having a moment with himself. He was quite emotional, and then he rode onto the ferry, and I thought that's really good. And I did that on my video. Tell the story a little bit because I do tend to try and tell a story as well. I do try and say some things, but sometimes I don't say anything at all, but I've got all this beautiful footage that's why I sort of put some sort of melodic music on it or whatever, so people can just capture the view. Because people have said to me before, I just love the view. can you show me more of the view? And it's like, not interested in you waffling. I just want the view.
It's a difficult one because there's people out there that want to see like the long form, say you put some drone footage up. There's people out there that just want to see like a minute of drone footage with a bit of music behind. They want to see that. It's unedited. It's, well, obviously you'll color correct and you'll do your LUT or whatever you want to do on that. But it's straight through, no jump cuts, nothing like that. And they like that. But I'll tell you what, the majority of people don't have the patience for it. So it's like things like riding onto a ferry. Well, show them 3 or 4 seconds of you coming up towards where the ferry is, a second or two of you being on the ramp going into the ferry, and another second parking your bike up in the ferry, and the brain just fills in the blanks. That's all they want to see.
That's almost it's almost what I did, maybe just slightly elongated. But what I've been doing, I've been doing a bit of 10-second jumps or 30-second jumps on a trail. So it's just jump, 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 which is the last video that I did, because if I watch it and I'm bored, I start cutting more of it out. You know what I mean? So that's what I've.
Do you know what the average attention span is now? 4 to 7 seconds.
Yeah.
Makes me lost ages.
So your screen, you need to try and change the screen at least every 7 seconds. So even if that is just you wouldn't need to do a jump cut, but say you've got something going on, maybe you're talking, then every sort of 5 seconds or so, just zoom in a bit, zoom in like 115, 120%, just so the screen changes a wee bit. So you could do it with one camera. You don't need 2, 3, 4 cameras, but just keep changing that screen, just so it's constantly changing. And you think people of our age, I know a couple of years ago, maybe 4 or 5 years ago, I had the odd comment where people were just like, could you stop? I can't cope with the screen changing. And now it's like, if I do anything outside of that, if I keep that screen static and don't change it, I see in the viewer retention, it just drops. You need to keep it changing all the time. People are just accustomed to it.
I love how you make some things going on all the time, and that's what I try to. That's what I'm trying to do more of.
Yeah, you almost feel a bit neurotic doing it, but you kind of have to do that now to keep people engaged.
It takes so long.
Oh, yeah.
And the thing, go back to what you were saying about riding onto the ferry, the thing that bugs me so much, and I don't use a drone anymore because people don't appreciate how much goes into it. Like this, you're riding along a bit of road and you throw the drone up, which takes you 40 minutes to throw the drone up, and you're going backwards and forwards trying to get the same shot. Drone comes down, you put it all away, and then you've got a shot of you riding past the camera.
Yeah, but you use about 3 seconds of it.
Yeah, and you go and put the camera down, you ride back, and then you ride past it, and then you ride back to the camera, you pick it up and put it in the thing. And you've got all this, it's 4 or 5 hours worth of editing and filming and all that sort of stuff, and it's 3 or 4 seconds, and people just don't even realise.
Yeah, but that is what will separate you from 99% of the other people out there. Because people don't do it. They can't be arsed, or they don't know about it. That is what will, like, if I make the effort to get all those different camera shots, I see straight away in viewer retention, I see the difference. I don't often do it. I don't do it anywhere near as much as I can, as I should, because like you just said, Sam, I'm like, I can't be fucked, because I know how much effort it is. But if you do make that effort, you can always delete something. You can always not use something. You cannot
record it afterwards.
It's not possible.
You can't record it after the event. Yeah.
But it's also possible to have too much footage. You know, you need to be economical.
I do what you do now, bro. Switch it on, switch it off, switch it on. I cannot have 8 hours worth of footage to scrub through. I just cannot do it. I did it before. I'd go out, synchronize front camera, one on your helmet, and then off you go, and then go, I'm going to sort all this out.
If you have 8 hours of footage, that's realistically 16 hours that you're going to be sat there watching through things, because you watch through a bit, cut a bit, go back, watch a bit.
Try or mark it, go through, mark it, and then come back to it. It's and then I might do painful.
That. I might do that 40, 50 times. So, straight away you're looking at like in 3 or 4 days of just going through footage. It's ridiculous. It's insane. Yeah. Anyway, right. So that was the second last question, Paul Sparrow. The last question from the clan, which is,
All right.
Jesus.
Have we done it?
How many is that? 4.5 hours? This is just the clan. Louise Worsfold. How you doing, Louise? Evening all. By this point, you will probably be 8 whiskies in. Yeah. So Sam and Bruce will just be getting started. Casting aspersions about you, MF Anal. Well, you finished your Hibiki. Good lad. I was bored at work and my kind? I think that's mind. And my mind drifted back to the Alps trip and I started to smile again. Yeah, we had a good trip, didn't we, in September? I really can't wait for September now. So, what is the most personally rewarding experience on a motorbike for you all? That's a good question.
That is a good question.
Personally rewarding experience.
Does it have to be on the bike or on a trip? On a bike trip?
On a bike trip, I'll take the lead on this one, Louise. Apologies if it's not what you meant, but I think it's to do with bikes. So, like on a bike trip. Personally rewarding.
So going back to the trip I mentioned before, like, and I don't like to go on about this because I know people get bored of it and stuff. But when I did that trip in the Scotland trip, back end of not last year, 2021 trip, I was having the worst time at work. I hated with a passion every single day. I got up every morning and I was just like, I don't want to do this. And it was that level of, I don't want to be here anymore. Not like that, but I don't want to be in this company anymore, that kind of thing. So I took that trip as I'm going to go and film it, but I'm going to go and get space from everything. Like I had credit card debt, I had loans, as in my bike loan, all that sort of stuff. And I was like, I'm earning all right money, but I'm not earning enough money and all that sort of shit. It was just, everything was just one thing after another. And I'm sitting there going, fuck this. This can't be what life's about.
Yeah.
And I thought, sod it, I'm going to go up to Scotland. I'm just going to do a trip on my own. I'm not going to do it. Not going to do it with anyone else. I'm not going to tell anyone about it. I'm just going to go. So I did. And then there was 2 points on that trip where I sat there and just went, yeah, I'm happy. And I think that's the thing for me with bikes, even though I've got a stupidly loud exhaust and I like being a child, is bikes are this is going to sound super cliche. It's probably because I'm 8 whiskies in. But bikes are my peace in a sense. Like they're my escape. They're my freedom. They're all these different things, which I think non-bikers won't understand. If you manage to charge that light and re-put it back, so it's gone flat, you've managed to charge it and put it back on. Yeah, sweet. Nice one, Mark. You've been chatting so much.
He doesn't stop, does he?
Yeah, it doesn't stop talking.
I'm just getting going.
Yeah, be asleep in a minute. But so there's the first. That was the trip I filled up with diesel, so that was great fun. But the morning after I filled up with diesel, yeah, I know what bellend does that. I was standing on. Yeah. He kept that quiet, didn't you, Pete?
Sorry, Pete.
But on Instagram, he didn't.
Yeah, that's true. Stood on the edge of Loch Lomond.
Good lad.
And it was 6 a.m., 7 a.m. I had a coffee that I'd made on my jet ball on the beach, and I was just stood there in utter silence. And I drank my coffee. And I got really pissed off because a woman came to walk her dog. And I was like, yeah, wait, this is my beach. But I sat there and I was just like, oh, I'm so happy right now. And then end of that trip was ironically when the GoPros died, but it'd gone back to my phone was dead. My GoPros had died. I'd corrupted SD cards. I was really pissed off because I'd done that and all that sort of stuff. But I was camping on the edge of Skye, like literally the tip of Skye, on my own. Couldn't see a car, couldn't see a vehicle, couldn't see a tent, couldn't see a camper van for miles. There were probably some around the coast, but it doesn't really matter. And I was on my own on the edge of Skye. No one knew where I was. No one could contact. Well, they could if they wanted to, I guess. But I had no contact with the world as I felt in a weird way. I was just on my own, had all the time in the world to think about everything. And I just, again, coffee, coffee is a great thing here. Sat on the edge I sat on my bike that was tethered to a rock just in case it blew over. But I sat on my bike and just looked out at the sea, drinking my coffee, and it was so much peace in the mind there. And I just sat there going, I fucking love bikes, because without my bike, I wouldn't be there.
Yeah.
Without my bike, I wouldn't have the ability. I mean, I could do it in a car or a camper van, but it's not the same.
No.
And I just sat there going, all this stuff I've bought is because of my bike. All these conversations are because of my bike. And it's just that, like, genuinely, like, I've never been so at peace and so happy on my bike. And it wasn't even on my bike at the time. So there you go. There's a really long-winded way of saying that I've had too many whiskies.
Mark, from near Leeds, you're going to have to lend Sam your butt plug, I think.
Another one? You ain't fitting 3 up there, mate.
No, I get that. I get that. Yeah. What about you, Mark?
What was the question again? Just read the question again for me.
Sorry.
What's the most personally rewarding experience on a motorbike
Right.
for
Okay.
you?
So 2019, me and my dad went down to the Touratech event in South Wales. So I cooked up this plan to want to go there. I'd got a GS. I wanted to do that, camp off road.
Nice
All of
Starbucks.
it-
Yeah.
Yeah, all the rest of it. Full on. I'll send it photos. Full on camping. My dad's got a Kawasaki Z900 RS. So I says to him, let's go and do this. And he went, go on then. I don't do camping, all the rest of it, you know what I mean? But I got a tent. I bought mattresses and all that shit and put it on the bike. And me and my dad, we probably did 600 mile in the weekend, you know, riding all the way through mid Wales into South Wales. And we camped there for the full weekend. My dad didn't do any riding off roading or anything like that. I did. I took a KTM 890. Can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
All right. It's
Your
I
battery's
think my
gone.
AirPod. Yeah, but battery's gone. Let me just see if I can.
I'm surprised mine haven't, actually.
Yeah. Is the sound all right?
Yeah, no, it's fine, but it's fine.
Right. Okay. So yeah, we got all that gear, and I bought a load of stuff, camping stuff, this, that, and other. You know, I went to great expenses. I said to my dad, all you've got to do is just turn up, and we had such a fantastic weekend, just father and son. I took him out of his comfort zone as regards camping and all the rest of it, and that's my standout memory. You know what I mean? My dad's not in the greatest of physical health, you know, with arthritis and all the rest of it, but he saw, he did it. He saw in my eyes what I wanted to do, and we both went together, and we just had such an amazing weekend. The weather was bloody unbelievable. You know, it was like 23, 24 degrees at time of year where you wouldn't expect. I can't remember when it was, but like May time. And it was so warm. It was brilliant. You know what I mean? And that's sort of my standout memory with my dad, which we both started our biking journeys together. We both passed on the same day.
Oh, wow, did you?
Oh, nice.
Did us back 2005, 10th of February 2005. We cooked up a plan to do his bike test together, and we did. My dad had FS1Es, you know, physis on a learner license when he was like 16, but he never had anything else up until me going, Dad, I've got an idea, and we did his direct access and passed in the same day. So yeah, that's my standout memory for sort of biking. There's been other ones, but just more personal.
Nice one. I think for me, it's got to be. Firstly, it's got to be the world trip. Just that feeling of. For me, it was really when I got to New York, it was like, right, I've done this, because I knew I just had Ireland and then home after that. It's like, right, I've done this, and that feeling of getting there was just almost euphoric. You know, like I'd lived out the promise that I made my mom. I'd done what I said I was going to do. You know, show my boy that you could do all this, and it was just like all the sacrifices that had been made. Boom, it's happened. And then now I've got to be honest, it's going to sound really corny, but now it's it's like almost passing that baton on to other people and seeing, like, through the tours and through the clan meet and everything like that. I've covered this loads on here, but it's just seeing how bikes change people's lives. You know, bikes make people who maybe they've been bikers all their lives, but they've only just done the calf run. You know, they've never gone anywhere further than their local calf or 20-mile, 30-mile radius of where they live. Some people are like that. They'll do 500 miles in a year. That's them. They're perfectly happy. And all of a sudden, for whatever reason, they make that decision to do something different, and they go to a different part of the country, or they go to a different country, or they go away for a couple of days rather than a few hours, or they go away for a week, or, you know, and you can see that it has such a huge impact on their lives, and it totally changes them and their lives. And I just love that. I love that bikes. I'm sure if you're into cars will do that. If you're into pedal bikes will do that. But for us, it's bikes, isn't it? And and I just love this common thing that we have of bikes just bring us all together. And, you know, would we have ever met? I don't know if we would have ever met if it wasn't for motorbikes. I don't know if we would. Who
I
knows?
see Mark dogging every now and again.
Well, we all see Matt. We all see Mark Anal on those websites that come up sometimes when you Google certain things.
I love the way it's gone from MF Anal to Mark Anal.
I might have to get some stickers made. But yeah, for me, it's that. It's
brown ones.
I love almost, sound like a right pretentious wanker, but, you know, passing the baton on and seeing other people, how it impacts on other people's lives. I love that.
I think that's and honestly, without blowing smoke up your ass, I think that's what I liked about watching your trip is you're just, in the nicest way, a normal bloke. Like you watch Ewan and Charlie go around the world and you go, yeah, but they've got a huge production team behind them. I don't know what it was at the time, but you kind of go, yeah, but they're movie stars. They've got all this sort of stuff and kit behind them. And whether it's true or not, that's what your mind is led to believe. But in the grand scheme of things, which is probably why you've taken off and like you've done so well from it, is because you are a policeman from London. You're anyone could, in the nicest way, anyone could be a policeman in London if they wanted to, if that was their career choice. And you've gone, this is my dream. I'm going to make it happen. And you saved up money and got in debt and all these other things. And you've gone, no, do you know what? I want to go around the world on a bike. So that's what I'm going to do. And that I mean, it's simple things like you say, someone can not ride a bike at all. And then they go, oh, this guy's just ridden a bike and this is really cool. And I thought bikers were just wankers that do wheelies on the A1. Yeah. But then they've gone, oh, I didn't realise you could go around like Ireland and all these other places. And you're like, yeah, go and do it. It's fucking amazing.
I love that feedback you get in comments from people that are just like, I'd never ever, bikes weren't even on my horizon. And then, you know, I've watched your vids, somebody else's vids, whatever it is, and bang, yeah, I'm hooked now. I've done this, I'm doing that.
Yeah. I did a Cotswolds video on my Tracer in the first, just after the first lockdown. And I think it was just after, but it may have been at the end of the lockdown because I was just like, I'm not going to speak to anyone. I'm not going to talk to anyone. I'm going to fuck off. And I did that. And I had a comment a year and a half, 2 years after doing the videos. And a guy commented going, I don't even ride bikes. I don't have a bike license, but I've just watched 3 episodes of you touring the Cotswolds. And it was everything I need to know that I need to get a bike license. And I was like, yes, go and do it. Yeah.
Go forth, young Padawan.
Yeah, exactly. And I get it. And it's not pretentious at all, mate. I don't think it is at all. I think it's...
Last part of this question. There's a 2-parter here. There's got to be the last one because we are almost 5 hours in. Ridiculous. Second question is, you're all content creators. What's the best trick or tip that you've stolen from another content creator? Ooh, nice.
Can I start? That?
Of course you can. Yeah.
One, be yourself. You can't be anything else. Obviously, I take that tip from you, Bruce. And probably just your content, the way it inspires me to be more like, not more like you, but more like the flavour. I like your content, so I'd like to create content that I like in respect of, like the cutting and the changing in the music and cutting it to the beats and that. So them tips. But yeah, I think that's short and sweet. That's a couple of tips.
You love a couple of tips.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just thought I'd bring it down a touch.
Fucking heartfelt moment from Mark Anal there. And you bring it to your level.
I'm going to change my name in my phone.
The F out of it now.
Yeah, it's just
What's
Mark
that?
Anal.
It's just Mark Anal.
MF Anal, not Mark Anal.
It's just Mark Anal now. It's just Mark Anal. That's it.
With no explanation at all.
People, we have got to make that stick. We've got Dickie Vegas. Now we've got Mark Anal. There we go. Beautiful.
Keenan, man.
Oh, awesome. Sam.
It's weird because there's tips on how to make better content, and then or more engaging content, I guess, and then there's other tips. If I was just going to leave it on how to make better content, I would go back to the attention span thing, like I do it on most of my newer vids now. Zoom in, zoom out, change the camera angle. Like if I'm filming here, I'll change the camera to be like that, and I'll go and talk there for a second. Change the Christmas lights, like that kind of thing. So you just change everything all the time, cutting out a lot of the dead space. Helped me with retention. And I think, like, to be fair, I watch a lot of things like people like Peter McKinnon and all those kind of very, very incredible creators. I just, if it interests you, delve deeper. Like, I think that's the thing. If it's not, because Dave Ashpole, he keeps sort of messaging me going, I kind of want to make more of my Instagram and I kind of want to edit photos, but I don't really want to edit photos. I haven't got the time for that, and I don't really want to have the time for that. Yeah. I'm like, yeah, but it's not, you're not gonna carry on unless you love doing it.
Yeah, you have to love it.
Yeah. And if I sit here, I can easily sit here for 4 or 5 days editing a video because I love rewatching my video. I know it sounds really cliche and weird and whatever, but I sit there going, I really like the creative process of this. Same thing what you were saying with Mark, with all your, with doing the roll onto the ferry and stuff. And your just brain is constantly going. I love all that stuff. Whereas if you're not interested in that, you're not going to do it. So you find your niche and then just run with it. And then people will be out there that like your niche.
But that also makes it almost like doubly heartbreaking when you put all that time and effort into a video and you think this is good. I am happy to have this associated with me. And it fucking dives. You know what I mean? Like the views and stuff. And you're just like, and then you look at some of the other shite that is out there and you just think, why the fuck is that got 80,000 views? And it's bollocks. But I mean, is it bollocks or is it just...
Yeah, but no, it's the generation now have got the attention span of, I don't know, like 3 or 4 seconds.
No, so I mean, in the bike sector, there's vids in the bike sector that they bore the shit out of me. I watch them and I'm just like, oh, Jesus Christ, I can't watch more than a couple of minutes. It's just, I'm just done. Even if I skip through it, I'm like, I can't cope with this. But it gets good views and they've got good subs. And I'm like, why is that? Yeah. Why are people watching this? I don't, that gets to me and I'm just like, what am I not seeing? What is it that I don't get? I don't know. Anyway, for me personally, there's two inspirations for me on YouTube. Casey Neistat, number one. He's what got me into YouTube pretty much. Yeah. I did a bit of YouTube for the world trip, but afterwards, when I finished it, that was YouTube done for me. I was finished. And then I started watching Casey Neistat, and it was just like, oh wow, I loved his style of content. 6 to 8 minute long vids, quick changing, story, engaging from the start to the end. I watched everything, and it fed me into the next vid and the next vid, and I'd watch 4 or 5 videos in a session, no problem from him. And it even made my missus do the same. That's how I knew it was good. And then from him, Peter McKinnon, like you said, Peter McKinnon was inspired by Casey, but yeah, I think Casey and Peter McKinnon, they're the two goats of YouTube for me. Absolutely.
That 2 years or year and a half, what Casey was doing a video every day.
Every single day.
It was, I mean, I get why he stopped, but that was it was weird, because I think that's the other thing as well, is it's people, going back to what we were saying probably 4 hours ago now, people should, in theory, be following you for you rather than what you're doing. And I think that's, there's channel out there where people, there's one, I'm not going to say his name, but there's a guy that I've seen who's got 25, 30,000 subs, and all he does is review bike after bike after bike after bike after bike. I'm like, and also he's done probably a test ride, so it's probably not even a full tank of fuel.
Oh, that really annoys me. 20 minutes on a bike and they give you a review.
And it's always titled as a review. Like when I do them, I do like the GS tomorrow, Friday, I'm taking it out for 2.5, 3 hours. Yeah. So I can go, this is what I think of it. It's very much a first ride.
Yeah. And I've done a tank of fuel.
Yeah. It's not a review, but I always title mine as, I never actually, I don't think I put review in the title kind of thing, but I can tell you roughly how it rides and how I feel on it, all that sort of shit. But I'm sitting there going, he's got triple my subscribers and he gets quite decent views on a video, but all he's doing is reviewing a bike. So you follow.
A lot of that's going to be thumbnail.
Yeah.
Because you've got to. I suffer from that.
Shit.
I'm saying my thumbnails are dog shit.
Yeah.
And hopefully that's starting to change. I don't know.
But the one thing I hate with a passion is when people go brutally honest review and you watch the video and like I almost did it. Well, I can't remember what it was on, but I was going to do it as I'm going to see if this works because clickbait does work. But when people put a brutally honest review and there's nothing brutal about it.
Oh, yeah. Just sucking the teeth of the PR spec sheet. I fucking hate that.
Yeah. It's so annoying. But yeah, that's another thing I've learned. Don't do that.
What I've started to change on mine is rather than going, like Lake District, off-road, blah, 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 KTM, whatever. I, I've just pulled it up so I can give myself some reference, but I've done it's all on the same day, but I've broken it down into three different videos, and I've done trail riding, Lake District, KTM, EXCF, blah blah blah, and then next video I've gone look out for the camper van on the next one, which is we came across this. Yeah.
Is there a camper van? Is there something happening with a camper van in the vid?
Yeah. So basically, trail. You what? It's your dad.
No.
It's your dad coming down.
It's a lay-by and his dad. Yeah.
No. So we're going up this trail. We're going up to this trail where it's steep, but there's a camper van coming down this trail. You know what I mean? It's like an off-roading camper van. It's on the video. And then the next one I've gone, jetties are slippery when wet, because I had a brainstorming idea that I'm going to ride down this jetty to take some photos.
I watched that.
And it was
that's all right though, mate, because it's got a reflection in the vid. It's when people go fuck those.
If you went if on that jetty video,
I crashed off it.
Yeah, if you went, I nearly crashed or whatever, and you people just go, you didn't know. But it does work. That's the annoying thing.
If I'd have been filming at the time when I was riding down there, which we were just riding down the road, and I went, there's a jetty there. I says, what if I get some photos down there? And Pilts was going, yeah, go for it. And Damo, you know Damo, don't you? Damo Shade. Yeah, and Dakar Steve, yeah, go for it. And I'm about to. You what?
Yeah, you first.
Yeah. And my wheel was you first. My wheels was literally 2 meters onto it, and I thought, this is snippier than snot, And I touched the front brake, and the front wheel locked up, and I'm literally almost going into Ullswater or Windermere or wherever we were, which or whatever, Derwent Water or whatever it was. And I'm going, what the fuck am I doing? I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? And I rolled the camera then when I got off the bike and going, I had a bright idea to go down there.
The best part of that video is when you come off that, and then I think it's Dakar Steve just went, well, that was a great idea, wasn't it?
That like the best advice I was ever given was the times when you don't feel like talking to the camera, the times when the last thing you want to do is turn that camera on and talk to it, that's when you need to record. I mean that went back to the world trip in that situation, but it carries on throughout everything, because people respond to the human element. That's when they bond with you, is when you are in that low point, when you're just hacked off with everything. They see the real you and they can relate to that, because everyone's been at that point where they're just like, fuck's sake, why is this happening? And everyone responds to it.
I literally turned the camera on and said, I've got to actually tell everybody what I attempted to do. And what I did is I beeped out the swearing though, because my dad told me off. He goes, why are you swearing all the time? And I went, fair comment.
Because I talked to Sam and he swears every other word.
Basically, I make an effort not to swear now.
Good, because that'll affect your monetization.
Yeah. Or what I'll do is I'll beep it out. I said the word bastard twice, but I thought it was more in topic rather than what the fuck, because that sounded like, So I make an effort not to swear.
I kind of I think like TMF really nailed it. Andy nailed it initially, because he went for the generic Mr. Nice Guy and the biggest possible audience possible. So there was no swearing. He was never polarizing in anything he said or did. He just went for that generic, almost beige style of content. And that did him really well. He's seen massive growth, 250,000 subs. I think now YouTube's at a point where you kind of have to, I don't know. I mean, you kind of have to just be something different now, I think, to get that kind of growth that you used to be able to get. Yeah. You kind of have to be a little bit different. For me, somebody like Lamb Chops, I think John Lamb Chops is a really good channel, because he encompasses the real technical know-how of stuff. He gives you that PR sheet regurgitation, but he does it in his own, he does it as him, he does it in his own style. And it's fun. It sort of teeters along the, he's a bit of a naughty boy, when he does wheelies and he does all this and that. And I just like how John does his channel, and he's seen massive growth.
I don't watch much. I've watched a few things. I watched only off the back of watching Kate's video when they went to Wales, testing those KTMs.
No, I don't watch any of them.
All right. And then I watched his garage build as well. I totally loved his garage build.
Oh, it's amazing, isn't it?
Over 12 months, I've dipped in and dipped out. But yeah, I do like his stuff. It's just that I don't religiously watch it.
No, I'm the same. There's very few bike channels I watch, but I watch some of his every now and then. If it grabs me, I'll watch his.
The thing I think he's done quite well with as well is when all of us are adventure bike knobs, like everyone's got an adventure bike, there's that percentage of people that are like, no, I don't want an adventure bike. I want a Super Duke or I want a Gixxer. Yeah. He's that 6'3", 6'2", or whatever he is. He's not a skinny guy. He's not 25 years old, yet he's still got a Gixxer and a H2 and all these sorts of bikes. And you kind of go, fair play. So he's also getting that audience as well as having his own say.
Which really fucks me off, because I'm 6'3", 20 stone, and I rode a southern Gixxer Thou around the world.
Did you?
I get nothing for it. And you're just like, for fuck's sake. Everyone just thinks of me as the GS guy, and I'm like, no.
Well, you know what you need to do then, don't you?
Mate, I just need to get the thing insured.
Sell it. No, sell it. Not the Gixxer. You need to sell the GS.
Not a chance.
And buy yourself a Super Duke.
Not a chance.
Wash your mouth out, man.
Nah, the Gixxer will be back on the road in the spring if I manage to get it insured. then it will be
Yeah.
back out on
Those
the road.
video-
Oh
video.
yeah.
I'll do a
Keep
tour
the
on it.
Gixxer.
I'll do stuff. Yeah.
Keep the Gixxer, but I mean the GS.
No, I'll never get rid. I'm not going to get rid of that. GS is awesome. You'll see that when you test ride it. I don't think it's going to be your cup of tea enough for you to buy one, but
I'm taking out the trophy though, which is the one I would buy if I was going to buy one.
yeah, but that's more. Oh, can you still hear me? Because my ear things have gone.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can, right? I think these are going to go soon, but we need to end this soon. The trophy is more off-road focused. So if you're going to go off-road, yeah, that's the one you'd go for.
But that's what I would. There's a guy that works at Whittam BMW Sycamore, who are the guys that I test ride through. They're brilliant. He had unfortunately got stolen, but he had a 1250. I think it was. It might have been the 1200. It's a 1250, and his GS is exactly how I would have a GS if I was going to buy one, because it was short, stubby screen, bark busters, outback bars, all that kind of stuff. And I just I look at that and I go, yeah, it looks quite cool. So that's the trophy would be the one that I went for, because it's the one that I could be a knob on in my head.
Yeah.
Whereas I love the look of the triple black and I love the look of the 719, but I just wouldn't buy one because it's too safe. Whereas I want to be able to go, yeah, I've got knobblies on my GS. What are you going to do about it? And also, Mark, that's the reason I keep saying about bringing my KTM up to Yorkshire when you go green laning, because everyone goes, yeah, you can't do that on the 250 kilo adventure bike. I'm like, watch me.
Yeah. I haven't got the bottle or the skill to actually do it yet. So
neither have I, but I've got the stupidity to back it up.
Yeah. I haven't got the wallet to back it up yet.
Yeah. No, neither have I.
There is some trails up there though that you'll do easy, but there's some that you will struggle with.
Yeah.
Like if we went on Rudland Rig, you'd be all right there. Pretty much you'd be absolutely fine, because quite a few of us have done that on GSs and that. Tony Hanman. Hannum, is it Tony Hannum?
Tony Hannum, yeah.
He did that first time out. You know what I mean?
He's a good boy, Tony.
Yeah, he's lovely. And then I think Dale were up, and Ollie Ray. I think Ollie Ray were up. Paul Webb, Pete English were there. I can't remember who else. Maybe Juddy. They were all up at the same time. They all stayed in Premier Inn, at Stockton, where we stayed that time. So yeah, that you'd be able to do without any.
But I want to do the ones where you go, there's no way you would get a super adventure on it. And it might involve having a bit of slate going through my tank, but I'd still be like, yeah, but I did it though. Well,
do it and film it.
Yeah, I'll film it and then I'll do a clickbait video saying honest review or brutally honest review of how the Super Adventures tank deals with the slate going through it.
Put it this way, right? We in the lakes, we did the trail in the lakes on the little bikes, and Pete English posted a photo of his bike on the exactly the same trail as where we went, and we went, no way Pete did that.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah.
We're like, we're thinking we're really good by dragging
He's a
little
gifted
bike.
mate. He's just one of those gifted riders, Pete. Doesn't matter what it is, road, plumbing, off-road, doesn't matter. He's
good.
Rider.
He's really good. He's really good.
Right, Fisters, that is insane. That's 5 and a bit hours. That's ridiculous. I'm probably going to have to do a 2-parter for this. Thanks very much.
I'll speak to you in March next year.
Been great.
Folks, if you have managed to get to this point in the podcast, thank you very much for your patience. I hope you've enjoyed it. Gents, before we go, thank you very much for coming on. The floor is yours. Mark from near Leeds, Mark Anal. Mark Anal, the floor is yours. Plug what you like. Go.
Right. So if you'd like to subscribe to my YouTube channel, it's Mark from Leeds, not anything like that. Looney Tunes.
Links down below. Mark Anal.
Links
Don't
down
Google Mark Anal because you won't get his channel.
Also, if you'd like to subscribe to my other Instagram, which is the Top Box Divider Man, I make the sectional dividers for top boxes for sale, obviously. So yeah, that's it. That's about it. And my Instagram's Mark from Leeds as well. So yeah, thank you, Bruce.
All the links down below.
all the links down below. Thank you very much. It's been absolutely brilliant. So yeah, I feel very humbled that I'm actually sat here. Sort of pinched myself earlier on.
Shut up.
Podcast. Shut up, you. I'm having my moment. You said. Pinching
This
myself.
is my moment.
You'll have to edit that out, won't you? You know what I mean?
Nope.
You know, call me Mark Anal, but please don't sing, for God's sake.
Yeah, that's a step too far.
I know, yeah. You've overdone it now. You've spoiled yourself, Bruce.
Mark Anal, it is. Have you finished?
Nearly. He's getting there.
Yeah, I'm finished. Thank you.
Samuel.
Hello.
Hi.
Hello. I'm getting ready for my GS ride on Saturday. Hello. Yeah, basically what Mark said, but not at MF Anal, at Sam V Bikes. YouTube, Instagram, Facebook. If you like general knobbery and you like KTMs, that's a big thing as well.
Sam's your man.
Yeah. If you like general knobbery, follow me. If you like general anal, follow Mark. But yeah.
It's generic anal, not general.
Okay, fair enough.
Generic.
Mate.
Whatever.
Hey, I'm
tickles
glad
your
you've
pickle.
accepted it. This is good. I'm glad you've used this platform to do this. Whatever, mate. Awesome. Fantastic. Right, folks, I hope you've enjoyed this. Make sure you check out all the links. They'll all be down below. So if you listen to the podcast, check out the show notes. If you're watching the YouTube vid, then check out the description down below. Give them a like, a follow, subscribe, etc., etc. Right, folks, hope you've enjoyed this one. What's that say? 23:38.
Yeah.
That's the time.
Yes, 5 and a bit hours. Jeez. I hope you've enjoyed this. It is great to be back. There are lots of guests lined up, obviously better than these two Muppets. There's lots of guests lined up. I hope you're enjoying it. Thank you very much for all those messages asking where it is. Well, it's back. What can I say? Keep doing your thing.
We are going to do, before we finish,
Yes.
we need to set a time at some point to do one of these in person on any bike sub 125cc, unless I big ball my monkey.
So we're going to do another big little adventure with you. Is that what you're saying?
I just need the views. Can't please. But yeah, we'll bring it.
We'll figure something out.
Small bikes. Let's go and get pissed somewhere and do the Facebook and Instagram questions.
Yeah, my apologies to everybody on Facebook and Instagram. We haven't got to your questions. I do apologise.
Again.
Well, next time I get these lads on, we'll do Facebook and Instagram first. Excuse me. Whiskey burps.
Asses and,
right, I need to go now. Come on, this is getting ridiculous.
Okay, and subscribe to Bruce's Patreon so you can ask us questions rather than being cheapskates sat in the background.
Or mine.
And Sam's as well.
Or mine.
And
Just mine.
if you want to PayPal me or buy me a coffee, I've got a link.
Enough of all this. If you want to do that. But right, folks, hope you've enjoyed it. Keep doing your thing. Get on out there whenever you can. But most importantly, Sam?
Live?
No. Most importantly.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, most importantly.
Live.
You're shit. Well,
I know.
We'll do
That's
it, Mark.
why I haven't got...
Right, folks, keep doing your thing. But most importantly, Mark?
Most importantly.
Sam?
Live?
Life.
Oh, Mark fucked it that time.
Okay, let's do it again.
No, that's it. Bye, folks. Ta-da.